Number 1! Get ready for a Jedi mindfuck. I actually split up the number 1 spot between 2 different games because they both equally belong here. So, the number 1 game that I wish I never paid for is Middle-earth: Shadow of Mordor Game of the Year Edition and The Witcher 3 Game of the Year Edition.
Snake! What did you just do? Have you lost your mind? Oh no! What are we gonna do now, Snake?
But wait, don't click off just yet. Let me explain. I bought Witcher 3 and started playing the game. Then the Game of the Year Edition comes out, and then it goes on sale for a price that is actually cheaper than if I were to buy the 2 DLCs separately. The Game of the Year version was $35 US, whereas it would cost me $40 to get them both separately on that sale. So I decided to buy it. Everything's good so far, right? So here we are, playing The Witcher 3 Game of the Year Edition. You can see the name of the 2 expansions down in the bottom left. That's the location you need to look in this game to see if you have them available or not. Clearly they are available to me, but when I go to load my game, I don't see my save file. So I recheck, and sure enough, I don't see my save file here. I go back to my original copy of The Witcher 3. So here we are in the original game that I bought at launch. See, the DLCs are in the corner. They say available now, which means that they are not installed. And there is my save file. It's right here. But the new file that I made in the Game of the Year edition doesn't show up here. That's right, I started a save file, played about 30 minutes, saved it so I could see if I could see it in this version. So what gives? Well, it actually turns out that the Game of the Year editions for both Shadow of Mordor and The Witcher 3 are actually considered to be their own separate game, and the save files do not work between the 2 versions. I know, it blew my mind as well. You see, normally when you buy one of the various editions of a game, like the Gold Edition of Assassin's Creed Odyssey, you're simply buying a digital package that includes the base game and then adds a season pass and all the other content. When you go to the main menu of the game, it doesn't say Assassin's Creed Odyssey Gold Edition, because you have the exact same base game as everybody else does. It's easier to update a game that way. Both publishers have confirmed the fact that the save files do not work between the 2 versions of their game. Shadow of Mordor works the same way. There's my save file from the original version of the game, but when I play the Game of the Year edition, that save file is not there. Note, I made a new save file just so I could confirm that you don't see the Game of the Year edition save file in the original version. So why don't I just restart the game? Well, you might as well ask me, why don't I just eat my own ass? When it comes to an RPG, hardcore players like to do things a certain way. They like to organize all their possessions in certain boxes, keep track of all their weapons and armor, and they usually like to conquer the map in the best way that works for them. I may have only played about 10 to 20 hours of the game by this point, but I had systematically done everything possible in the starting location, and I started doing that in the next playable area. I didn't want to throw out all my progress. I just wanted to have one save file that had everything I had done in the game. So I just didn't play the Game of the Year edition. Eventually, the 2 expansions got discounted on Witcher 3 so low that I could pick them both up at around $18. It really was a great price, so I decided to get it. So that's the moral of the story. I have a Game of the Year edition for Witcher 3 that is just a waste of hard drive space because I'm never going to play it. And the same thing happened with Shadow of Mordor. So I learned from this mistake, but quite honestly, I really haven't run into another game that behaves like this except for these 2. I spent about $50 US for the 2 Game of the Year edition versions of the games themselves, but then an added $27 so I could get the DLC for the right version of those games, which is $77 total if you add it all up, which I do in this case. I have no reason to play them, and out of all the other games I put on this list, these 2 are the biggest wastes of money. Except Lego Dimensions, that's easily the single biggest waste of my money. That's $240 plus. I'll never be able to get back, but I still want to play that game and see some of the new worlds. So even though I dropped the most cash on it, I do eventually want to return to that game at some point. So, I regret buying Shadow of Mordor Game of the Year Edition and Witcher 3 Game of the Year Edition. It might seem like a dumb reason, but I wasted a bit of money on versions of two different games that are completely useless in my collection.
We must find a way to look after one another as if we were one single tribe.
And there you go. That was my top 20 list of games that I did that thing. I literally forgot the name of my own video. I've been working on it for so long. My throat's a little dry after all this talking. Damn, I'm thirsty. I said, damn, I'm thirsty. Can I get some Kool-Aid up in this bitch?
Oh, yeah! It's that time of year again! Kool-Aid Man, you ready for Christmas? Oh, yeah! Yeah! All I really want for Christmas! All I really want for Christmas!
Well, that seemed unnecessary. So thanks for tuning in to another long video. I know they'll be shorter after this. This was just a special. And wait, well, you got something to say, little Billy? All right, don't be shy. Come out. Go ahead. But Stryker, I think you should call it Strike Giving Miss. It makes more sense, and it puts them in proper holiday order, so that, for the love of Penelope Cruz, can we just move on? I was in a hurry. I named it something stupid, and I'll probably change it next year when I got more time to think. Now, stop using that music. We'll find some other music that's more appropriate to play for Strike Misgiving. It'll be more Christmas-like, you know, happy and cheerful and not, well, you know, I mean, if I was doing an A&E biography on the Cherokee Indians, it would be fitting music to use, but not here, not on YouTube, not for video games. And besides, this list was painful. Do you know what it's like to play something like 25 games that you don't like for a solid 2 months, just so you can get a good variety of footage? And then you're missing something crucial, so you gotta go back and play that crappy game some more? I couldn't delete any of these games on my hard drive until the video was done, just in case I needed to go back to one of these games, so I'm happy this thing's over with. So there's my list of the top 20 games I regret buying. There, I remember the title for you. Do you have your own experience of a game that you bought and regretted buying it? Whether it was instant or maybe it took a little while for you to realize it. Was it worth returning? Or did you just decide to eat the cost and live with it? Tell me in the comments below. But hey, thanks for watching. For the end card, I have a special rendition of a famous song.
I'm dreaming.
No, Michael Bublé, get the fuck out of my holiday special. We're not doing that song. I see trees of green, red roses too. Please click on another video for me and you. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Oh, Jesus. Damn, Louis Armstrong. I can't do that voice for very long. I don't know how you managed. Click on another video before my voice gives out. I can't keep it up for very long. That's what she said. I'm sorry. I can't help myself. I bought too many Lego Dimensions toys. Pick something fast. I can't hold on.